Hello, I'm Pamela Payne, your host for In the Know. And as you may remember, that In the Know is our community outreach show that will bring awareness of services and resources that you may want to know about. So welcome today and happy summer. And today we'd like to welcome our guest, Dr. Adriana Zabrosky. As you can remember, she's been on here before, in January, I think you were on here.
Yes.
And giving us some good advice about the 5 facets of health. Was that it?
Yes,
Wonderful.
that was.
So we'd like to welcome you today.
Well, thank you. Thanks, Pamela.
Well, today on our show, we're going to be talking a little bit about, we're going to add on to the 5 facets of health, but we're also going to focus on how we can help our children be healthy. You know, how has chiropractic services been helpful to children?
Well, with children, what happens is, think about it this way, Pamela. When we're in the womb, we're fine. Do we need a pharmacy? Does anybody go in there and say, oh, here, we're making the eyeballs. Now we got to throw in a little solution. Oh, here come the lungs. We don't. We don't need a pharmacy as we're being born. And then all of a sudden we're born and we need things. We need things to help us breathe. We need things, to help us think, to help us sleep. And how does that happen, or what happens with children? Think about all the things children do today that they didn't used to do. Backpacks. What are they carrying? 40 to 60 pounds of weight in a backpack. Texting. They're doing this all day long. So that's doing a lot of things to the neck and the mid-back. And sports. Kids are very active in sports, which is a good thing.
Right.
But there's injuries in sports, and there's a lot of repetitive motions that cause problems within the spine. So what happens is, with all of this trauma, we'll call it, to the spine, things begin to move out of alignment, and that begins to cause malfunction because now the nerves can't get to certain areas, to the sinuses, to the lungs, to the heart. And how it helps children is by adjusting the spine, the nerve supply is going to work better. And even the birth process, I see a lot of infants because they'll have ear infections.
Oh, okay.
They didn't have ear infections before they were born.
Right.
What happened that all of a sudden they need an antibiotic? Well, sometimes the head and neck during the birth process is twisted. And what happens is the top 2 vertebrae in the spine will move out of alignment, and that's a very powerful area. And what will happen then is the nerve supply can't get to, again, the muscles in the ears, the canal, and infection can form because of a lowered resistance.
So how does the resistance get low? Is because that the body doesn't know what to do, or?
Exactly. The nerve supply, the function of the brain, there's many functions, but 2 of them are to help our body regenerate, like when you cut your hand.
Right.
Your brain is telling you how to regenerate. And the other thing is resistance. Resistance, we have our own resistance. It's our immune system. And when you have a proper nerve function, your immune system functions properly.
Right.
When that nervous system isn't functioning, your immune system is offline. It's not doing what it needs to do.
You talked a little bit about infants and ear infections. What are some other kind of things that you've seen? You've worked with children and they've had some other issues.
Asthma is a big thing, really big thing. ADHD is a big thing, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I actually had a little girl who didn't talk for 5 years.
Really?
Not a peep. After she had been getting her atlas adjusted, I was working on her one day, and I said, so what did you do today? And she starts talking to me, telling me what, and the mother was sitting right there, and we both just kind of went along with it. So what can it help? Well, if your brain isn't able to communicate to any part in your body, you're not going to have function. But among children, those are some of the top things, ear infections, asthma, allergies. Those are 3 big ones.
That's very interesting.
Well, again, the brain communicates that information through the spinal cord, which is encased in your spine. And then the nerve supply exits through your vertebra. And so if that vertebra is out of alignment because of the stresses I mentioned, that's why you're going to get things like that.
Right.
I know it's weird. You think it's just for back pain or
Right.
for a neck ache, but it's for just so many things going on in the body.
Because I think the last time you were here, you said that it was really, that's where your message center is.
Exactly.
And you actually brought
I brought
the spine.
I brought my friend back. Everybody remembered my friend here when I walked in. So, and just to reiterate, the brain communicates everything. Everything we need to know, and it runs through the spinal cord, exits these nerves, and then these nerves supply your lungs, your heart, your ears, everything. Everything's reliant on what's going on here.
Okay.
And you know, it's like a circuit breaker. This is our circuit breaker. If this circuit's off, you can turn the light switch on and off all day long. It's not going to go on until you go in the basement, open up the thing, click, put that circuit breaker back on.
Okay.
Now you can turn on the light switch. Same thing's happening in our body.
Okay. So what area, when you're talking about the respiratory diseases that people may have, asthma, allergies, you know, those kinds of things, what area of the spine are we talking about? Is there a particular area?
There are two key areas.
Okay.
The atlas, that's the top bone in your neck,
Okay.
because think of that, when you're born, what'll happen? This can get twisted and yanked out, so we have to look in this area.
Okay.
And also more in between the shoulder blades, because
Really?
these are the nerves that go directly to the lungs.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and in fact, University of Chicago did a study, I'm kind of getting off the subject of allergies, but for high blood pressure, they did a study at University of Chicago, and now they're going national with that study, just studying the atlas, the top bone in the neck, because it's very effective in lowering high blood pressure.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's very interesting for all those who are on medication
Exactly.
for high blood pressure.
Exactly.
Now, is that the same, like we talked about allergies, and is that the same for adults too?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You know, an infant, I see 2-day-old babies to my oldest patient it just turned last week 96 years old.
Really?
Yeah. And we all have what are called subluxations, bones that move out of alignment. So by restoring the nerve supply, by removing a subluxation, babies, 10-year-olds, 20, 30, 50, 70, 80, all can, you know, get the results.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's been like the most miraculous thing? I mean, the little girl not talking for 5 years, pretty miraculous. But what's been like some of the, you know, miraculous things that you've seen chiropractic services do to help children?
Well, I have so many great kid stories. I had a little 4-week-old baby born with Erb's palsy. Her left arm was completely paralyzed.
Okay.
And the parents brought her in, and I started working on her. And on infants, I just hold pressure. And when I held pressure on the fifth bone in her neck, right in here, her arm began to move a little bit, little by little. And with a few more visits, it started to elevate more. A few more visits, we're starting to get fine motor movements in her fingers. Within 26 days, she had a fully functioning arm.
Wow.
I had a young man, he was 14. He had lost the vision in his left eye. And he'd been an ophthalmologist, neurologist, neuro-ophthalmologist.
Was he born like that? Or
No,
did
he
it
was
kinda...
at the age of 12.
Oh,
he
okay.
lost the vision.
Okay.
And now he's 14, so for 2 years he was blind in the left eye. He got, after his 12th adjustment, his vision was restored.
Wow.
So those are some cases. I mean, oh my goodness, we have so many. I had a lady just about a month ago coming in with a screaming colicky baby. And this poor woman, she looked like she's the one who needed the adjustments. You know, she was exhausted, and I adjusted her baby. She came back 2 weeks later. She looked like a new woman, for one.
Wow.
She said, I don't know what you did with my old baby, but I love my new baby because he's quiet, he's just normal. I mean, he cries when he's hungry, but the screaming, you know, stopped, and he's a healthy little guy. So
Wow.
there's just, every day there's just something new that happens, you know. And for me, even though I've been in practice 25 years, it's just so exciting to see things that I think, oh, I don't know if that's going to help it. And it does.
So tell us a little bit about, we talked about the 5 facets of health, so maybe we can remind our audience about those, and I'll have to tell you my little story after you get done.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, given that we're talking a little bit more about allergies and asthma, I'd like to focus a little more on the facet of eating properly.
Okay.
Because, you know, I see diet is so critical. People come in and the adjustment is wonderful. It's going to get that nerve supply working, but we have to feed our bodies nourishment in order for our body to function.
Right.
And all 5 facets are important, but you know, this is the time, it's summer. Fruits and vegetables, 4 to 6 servings, and it's not hard. I hear, oh, I don't have time, oh, it's so expensive, oh. I don't have time, but I get my fruits and vegetables, and we have the time to do it. And you know, you want to buy organically because there's no pesticides in organic fruits and vegetables, and they might be a couple dollars more, but they are worth it. You're getting better nourishment in your body. You know, and if people don't have time, if you have a high-speed blender or if you have just a regular blender, make a smoothie every day. You can throw in, I buy a big bag of baby kale, I put it in the freezer. Patient taught me that a couple weeks ago. I throw that in the freezer. And then I'll throw in the kale and the strawberries and banana. That way I'm getting kale because I don't particularly like cooking up kale.
Yeah.
And, you know, then I'll throw in a little bit of orange juice and blend that up. And it's delicious. And I've gotten 4 to 6. I did it. I'm done.
Why don't you give us an overview of the 5 facets?
5
just so that
facets
people
of
remember.
health. Okay, well, proper diet
Correct.
is one. Positive mental attitude. And that one, I listen to a lot of tapes. I've always got tapes in my car because things chip away at all of us every day.
Right.
Every day there's negativity of things that just eat away at you. And you don't want all that negativity to take you over, you know, and put you in some kind of a funk. So
That's right.
Really. So I listen to tapes every day, and they really keep me motivated and keep my attitude positive. Meditation. I've been meditating a lot more since we had this talk last time. And really time to, you know, in the morning spend 15-20 minutes of quiet time. We need that quiet time, you know. So there's things we could be doing every day like that. So okay, we got those 2. Proper rest, and you know, not just the amount of rest, but how we rest. We need to be sleeping in certain positions on our side or on our back. You really never want to sleep on your stomach because you're twisting up your neck and head and shoulders. And proper nerve supply, and then proper exercise, and that's what you were talking about with the tape. So,
Right.
you know, and now beautiful weather.
Yes.
When you go to the park, when you go shopping, wherever you go, park as far as you can.
Yeah.
You know, and walk. That way I'll get the closer spot. No, I'm just kidding. No, park as far as you can. Stairs, elevator, escalator. Take the stairs. So for people who say I don't have time to exercise, again, I don't have time to exercise, but I exercise. We all need to be exercising, and it's so beautiful out now.
Right.
We need to spend time with nature. That's part of the positive mental attitude. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Right.
You go on a nature trail walk, you're getting your exercise, and you're spending time with nature, and you can even meditate while you're walking.
That's right.
So
that's true.
So there's ways to kind of put all these things together so that you don't feel like, wow, you know, by the time I do all 5 facets of health, it's time to go to bed, you know.
Right.
It should really just be a way of life.
Really does help you in the sunshine, you know, to get, was it vitamin
D? 15 minutes outside gives you the vitamin D without sunglasses so that it can get into your pupils. Yep.
It's just something about that just totally changes your disposition. I think we live in such a beautiful area that, you know, we just kind of have to stop and just, you know, look around, and if your area isn't nice, then go somewhere it's not that far. You know.
Exactly. I mean, and that's it. We have so many streets that we go from point A to point B. We're going to work, we're going to this, we're going to that. But all around, like you said, there's beautiful forest preserves.
It's true.
Take the time to just go out and enjoy them.
Yes,
absolutely.
Even if it's just a little bit a day, that is so true.
15 minutes. You know, even like the backyard of my office is gorgeous. There's wildflowers back there. It's just beautiful. And at when we have breaks in there, we get outside and we take a little walk. Even like you said, even if it's for 10 minutes.
Right. And then if you want to know more about Dr. Zabrosky, her email address is drz@zcpharmacy.com. CHIRO.com. And then her phone number is 630-515-0001.
That is correct.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So you can find out more about her. We'll have, we don't have your website here, but we will have your website up at the bottom of our screen in addition to our other contact information. You want to leave us with anything else, Dr. Zabrosky, before you go?
Well, it's a beautiful day, so get outside and take a walk and enjoy the 5 facets of health. And
That
have a
sounds
great rest of
great.
the summer.
Thank you. Thank you. So we just hope that you have a great rest of the summer, and just stay tuned for our next episode of In the Know, and have a wonderful, healthy day.